vibing on this fucking river music, bro. Just vibing on it.
Good. All hi-fi. Gotta like it. I'm that lo-fi. All hi-fi.
All hi-fi. All right. Now that we got that going on here, let's go ahead and get the old podcast going here. Kick it off with the intro.
Yep. So just like I like to kick this off, if you jumped into the stream or you're gonna come back and watch this video, that you guys all know that this live broadcast really is for the sake of it's just for the sake of
video content.
Because we have all the stuff in the video content. Really we're gearing it to audio content, so we may stop and reread a scene or whatever, and then by editing magic, you guys will be the only ones to know whatever happened.
Yep.
That's the privilege to joining.
Yeah, we don't edit the videos, and we don't have anything scripted. We have topics that we talk about, but we don't script it. We have a few scripted sections like our intro and stuff, but for the most part, it's completely unscripted. We just have talking points that we want to talk about. So if you guys see that or see this in the video, and I have a fly attacking me, kamikaze. Kill you, Fred.
That's good. Pull up a George Carlin clip to kind of talk about with the kids. Like, they don't really know who Dave Chappelle is, but it's kind of like Dave Chappelle is kind of like our modern day George Carlin.
Yeah.
George is passed. I put on a George Carlin clip, which wasn't really terribly kid friendly. My kids are old enough. Father swears like a sailor, so yeah. And they were laughing their butt off at George Carlin. It's like, guys, you got to remember, this is 20 years old already.
Yeah, this is before y'all were born.
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and kick it off. What's up, game geeks and tech junkies? Welcome to A Gaming Moment, a weekly podcast about everything gaming and streaming related, including the news, tech, and software behind it. Be sure to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all of your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Dagan07, and with me as always is WildTwinsFan. How you doing this week, Wildy? It's been crazy.
Good, yeah. A little bit of a crazy week. Been off, but still busy. This week, we do have a big topic. Modern Warfare 2 reveal came out, and we've also seen some gameplay on top of that. Lots of changes, lots of new stuff. Really too much to cover, but we're gonna hit some of the high points.
Is it new, though?
All to death.
Is it all new,
It
though?
is new. I mean, it's a new spin on the same thing.
Fair enough.
But,
fair enough.
I think it'll still feel familiar. And then we also do have a little bit, we're going to talk a little bit about Multiverse, new free-to-play game, and just kind of what that is. And Dave will take the lead on that one. Also, we got a bunch of banter this week. We're going to talk about Diablo Immortal and how it's getting kind of beat up, and the cost that it could actually cost you to fully gear up your players is insane. We're going to talk about Taco Bell DeFi, because we're all tech, news, gaming, all that stuff, and Taco Bell DeFi is pretty cool, and it's actually close by to me, so
and we're
a little bit of that. Yep. And then we have Battlefield 2042 actually got their update, and a little bit about the impressions there. Apple
That's
going Type-C. Yep. Let's see. Amazon's got a fighting. And we'll talk about Amazon fighting scalpers, NFTs that we've covered kind of, here bits and pieces, and talking a little bit about that slumping and what that kind of means or could mean. Kind of another story that I thought was pretty cool was YouTube's starting to begin rolling out 5.1 surround sound. That's always been a sticking point for me. I'm a big movie buff. I have the surround sound. I have 7.1 surround sound, and you know, nice big flat screen TV. So that's kind of an important piece to me. Talk a little bit about my still non-existent Steam Deck and how the dock for my non-existent Steam Deck and how the dock for my non-existent Steam Deck also might be delayed.
Oh boy.
Talk about Apple iOS 16, just a little bit about that, touch on that. And then kind of a hot rumor, not terribly surprising, PS5 Pro, Xbox Series X console, like a Pro edition, an 8K edition. Just maybe a little bit on the rumor mill there.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and just jump right in with something that really hits home to me, because I am such a Modern Warfare fanboy. Like I'm on record a billion times on this podcast saying how much I love the Modern Warfare story, the storyline, the characters. We saw the we saw the world reveal of the Modern Warfare 2 trailer, and again, I'm on record saying the Modern Warfare franchise is my absolute favorite gaming franchise of all time. And I'm super excited to play the story mode of this game, and I'm excited to see some familiar faces that were killed off just way too soon, in my opinion. But that's where the excitement really ends for me on this. Like, just watching the reveal video, watching the trailer, there was a real like Xbox 360 graphics vibe that I was getting. I don't know if people will like it for like nostalgia's sake, but some of the graphics looked very Xbox 360-ish just in the trailer. I mean, we're on next gen consoles and RTX cards. Like, let's get on the detailed graphics, especially showcasing the campaign where all the system resources should be used to create a super immersive world and bring the story to life. And I know this is just the reveal trailer. This is just a hype builder, but at least show the prettiest parts of the game. Don't give us these shittily rendered characters. Like the characters, in my opinion, off cutscene were just, like I said, it was just Xbox 360-ish. Like, Infinity Ward, you're better than Halo. This game is better than Halo Infinite. But, I say all that to say that I'm not deterred from buying the game. Like, I'm probably going to pre-order it to get the beta access so I can start getting used to the game. But, Wildman, I expect more out of a AAA studio reveal.
Yeah, I think a little bit of that is just, it is still pre-production yet, pretty early. We're not even seeing betas, although we've had gamers that have played it already, and so that's kind of interesting. No video details on that one yet, so I expect that the polish always comes last. The mechanics got to come first. This is a new engine. I think they're going to be fine tuning a lot of that stuff more so because it's a new engine, and maybe graphics will come last. And we've seen that. We've definitely seen that with COD, that graphics. A couple games they've launched a couple games with some kind of subpar graphics, and kind of stealth update them. And COD does so many stealth updates. It's unreal. Like, as a search and destroy player, I can tell you right now, they are always changing maps. They're always changing sight lines. They're adding trees and stuff like that because somebody will get a cheeky vantage point and stuff like that. So I think it's just coming. But now we did see the reveal on the kind of that water where they were going out to a oil rig, it looked like. And that actually looked really good, and
It did.
content looked good. And that was actual gameplay. Where they said that the one on the 8th was a gameplay reveal, and it didn't look like gameplay to me. It looked like cutscenes and stuff like that, which is even weirder to me. Like, how does that not look better than it does? But I don't know. I mean, the gameplay looked good. I liked it. I think there's a lot to look forward to. The story looks like it's going to be, on par with everything. So then,
as Wild,
we have. go ahead.
So as Wildy said, it is being developed on a new engine, and the reason why they're doing the new engine is they're trying to build some cohesiveness between the different developers across the different games. So it's being co-developed by Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer Games. So it's being co-developed by Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer Games with the aim to ensure every studio is working with the same set of tools without losing the identity and unique charms of each COD subseries. My question in this, Wild, is where's Activision in this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they've already announced that there's a Warzone sequel. Warzone 2 will not share any progress, content, or inventories with the original Warzone, which that's kind of a big thing, dude. That's a huge thing. And on top of that, the original Warzone will still continue as a standalone owned by Activision.
Yep. To me, that's who's getting the money. And we want to sell you new outfits and new cool stuff. And no, you can't keep them forever.
I made a note on this, and I'm gonna come back to the note at the very end after we've gone through kind of some of these things, these next few points here. But there's a theme, there's an underlying theme that I caught here that nobody has caught this angle of. But before we go to that, let's talk about they've announced that they've come out with upgraded AI, and my first thought is it's about damn time.
Wonder if they got the AI from PUBG. I know that one's top notch.
Yeah, let me tell you. There's speculation that they might put AI in Warzone. For me, my thoughts on it are leave it out of multiplayer games. Leave it out of Warzone. Leave it out of anything multiplayer, with the exception of like survival mode or training mode. That's the only place, in my opinion, that AI players should be present. Unless it's done tastefully. Like PUBG has kind of done AI tastefully on maps where, they're not bots filling in player spots. But like if you think of Haven, like Haven, it was done tastefully, like where they have a boss area, if you will.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's probably the best avenue to use AI, but I think part of that too is they want to up a player count, so they're talking about, adding more AI into 5-player matches and stuff like that. So that always mixes stuff up because, man, the thing I hate about bots in PUBG is they will see you from a country mile away and then they start shooting at you, and it's like, when you hear the bot shooting, it sees someone and it's giving away your position, and it's like, and then, or it's shooting at you and it's like, you're going to have to pop it, or it's just going to keep shooting at you and walking towards you and stuff like that. But they don't really hurt you, but they're annoying. So I do agree, if they can keep if
they can keep it tasteful,
go in and fight a boss. Go in and fight a boss to get some gear, or a game mode that's got bots in it, maybe.
Some tier 3 loot or something like that,
Yeah. Yep.
Another big announcement that comes with this is Call of Duty's coming back to Steam. Like, we're not gonna have to go through Blizzard or quote unquote Activision Blizzard to play the game anymore or download it.
Does that mean I can verify my game files and it'll actually work? Because I've had to reinstall COD a couple times now because it couldn't verify my files and it's broken. Hopefully that'll be a plus.
Yeah, and then they've also come out and said that, obviously Ricochet anti-cheat's going to be in there. So yay, it's built from the start, but will it actually work is the big question. But the underlying theme to all this that I caught, like I said, that nobody's really mentioned yet, is the COD franchise slowly sunsetting its partnership with Activision completely? Or are they trying to move away from looking like they're owned by Microsoft? I mean, Microsoft did purchase Activision Blizzard, right? If you think about it, Activision's name's not mentioned as being part of the co-developers for the new engine. They're Activision's not part of the Warzone 2. Warzone, the original Warzone is going to be its own standalone, owned by Activision, and then you're not required to download it off of the Blizzard app. Now, it's still going to be available on the Blizzard app. It's not exclusive to the Blizzard app like it has been. It's going to be both on the Blizzard app and on Steam. But you know, where I'm sitting at is this where COD is going? They're trying to separate themselves from, Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard thing. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Wild?
I don't know. I think it's just a little bit. Microsoft has always had a kind of working relationship with Steam, so I think that's just a stepping stone. Like, not to keep it so exclusive. I mean, you could buy Flight 2020 on Steam, and that works just fine. I think it's just a logical step to make it more available to people, and people are used to Steam, and a lot of people don't like to have another launcher play the game. What about Day? Because we talked about this, but what about if the whole move to Steam has to do with a marketplace and the ability to buy or sell goods? We've talked a little bit.
I didn't think about that angle. I didn't think about
right?
that angle right away.
That's a big angle right there that only Steam can do right now. So that might be Microsoft or Steam or whatever trying to get a little bit more piece of those microtransactions again. So yeah, we don't know if that will really happen. I don't really think it will, but that is one thing, it opens the door to being able to put things on a Steam market that already exists, and Activision doesn't have. No other place has that, so you never know. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting, but we haven't had that before. So
yeah. So the day after the reveal, so the reveal came out June 8th. On June 9th, they came out with a gameplay video. And Jack Frags did kind of a really in-depth detail video. If you check out his YouTube channel, we'll have a link in the show notes, or in the description of the podcast of this episode that you guys can click on. He went super into detail. For me, like I said, the campaign is really the only reason why I'm buying this game. And after watching the game video, I was more impressed with it than I was with the reveal trailer. Like, completely and honestly, like they have some new movements. They have like ledge hanging and stuff from ladders. They have rappelling, which seems very Rainbow Six-ish. They have diving to the ground, which is bringing back motions from like Black Ops and Black Ops 2. Swimming's now been added, which there was swimming to begin with. I think in Modern Warfare, quote unquote Modern Warfare, what was it, 2020? I think is what it when that Modern Warfare came out.
Cold War had some swimming too.
Yeah, no, it was Cold War because it was on the multiplayer maps and stuff. So,
but I mean, there's been some swimming levels, so but that's not terribly.
Like Wild said, the water simulation and the reflections looks a million times better in this, and especially if you have like a really good graphics card, you're going to be able to render out like those awesome clean like waves and reflections off of that water. And I'm going to have RTX turned on for the campaign. Like, there's no way I'm not running the campaign mode without RTX turned on.
For sure.
They've went ahead and stuck with like the 10 weapon slots like there are in Vanguard. I'm okay with having more attachments. Just don't I don't need 21 different optics. That's annoying. Like, the grind just for the sake of the grind. I hate that.
That's Vanguard's really bad at that. I'm just gonna cover some other topics here real quick too. New vehicle mechanics. You can be able to lean and shoot out of vehicles. You can vehicle damage you can blow tires off. Some of that stuff you can fix vehicles. Some new boats. Some new ground stuff. Some new helicopters. More maps. Obviously, we're gonna have maps. They're trying to base it a little bit more on smaller maps.
And I'm cool with that.
Yep. Some new gear, which is always good. We're gonna have attack cameras, cluster charge. Is that cluster? Is that like a 9-bang? Can we do that? That thing, how to defeat the 9-bang?
Oh, I don't know. I've never heard that.
Yeah, you escape and exit the game. That's how you beat the 9-bang.
Hmm.
Equipment in the water will react differently, which has always kind of been one of those things that never
It's not
worked
realistic
in any
enough,
game.
Wild. It's not realistic enough, Wild.
So maybe the AI stuff will talk about, maybe there's a new knockout multiplayer mode, gunfight mode, prison rescue was kind of very Rainbow Six Siege. So maybe we'll see some of the AI in some of those matches or something like that. So just kind of that, but I mean, really, guys, Jack Frakes does a mind-bending job kind of going through this stuff. It's a good way. Again, we'll link the video. I think I already have it up on Facebook, but we can put it in the description, and that'll really give you the in-depth COD experience if you kind of go through that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then a new game that's kind of taking social media in the gaming world right now that's kind of it's starting to pop off. It open beta begins in July, so in really just a few short weeks, 3 to 4 weeks from the time of this podcast. But what it's called Multiversus, and it's a cross-platform 2v2 co-op based. Or it can be 1v1 or 4-player free-for-all, but it's basically a fighting game. And it's done in collaboration with Warner Brothers, featuring many classic cartoon characters, including Superman, Batman, Bugs Bunny, so much more. There's like Scooby-Doo, because you see Shaggy, and if you're a Cartoon Network fan, it has characters from like Steven Universe and things like that. So it's really a big gaggle of characters from a whole bunch of. This is why they call it multiverses, from multiple universes, really, cartoon universes. So I'm super stoked to kind of try it out. Like I said, it is going to be free to play. It's cross-platform. I'm going to be breaking out my controller because I can't play fighting games on a keyboard and mouse. I don't know who can.
Let's be real.
I'd like to see that.
Let's be real. You look at this game. What is the one game that comes to mind? There's one game. It is a clear attempt to take over that market. Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, 100%. Super Smash Brothers.
This is Super Smash Brothers for PC, cross-platform. That's what it is to me. It fights the same ways. The levels are they're staged like Super Smash Brothers. And I haven't played a lot of Super Smash Brothers. Mostly because that's the one game my son can actually put dad down pretty fast. So, if you're a big fan of that, and there's actually a pretty good competitive Super Smash Brothers league. I think this game's going to be pretty popular. So, it looks
I'll be okay with it.
Fun.
Yeah, and it's gonna be that game for the younger generation, right? Like these teenagers and stuff that are relevant, but they're trying to get like the people our age, the demographic our age, because of the other characters. Like I said, there's Scooby-Doo, there's Looney Tunes in there, there's they have your Batman, Superman, so you have your DC lovers that are in there. It's gonna attract a lot of people, and then like Wildy said, it's very, very Smash Brothers esque. And didn't they come out and say they're not making any more Smash Brothers games?
They always say that, but I think there's already been rumored leaks that there's something in progress. So I don't know. If not, they always make DLC or something. They always gotta find some way to remonetize it.
Yeah,
absolutely. Nintendo's hurting for money too, so.
You want to do the next one?
Read this?
Oh shit, sorry. So guys, if you've been enjoying the podcast and want to go above and beyond downloading, not used to reading this one. So guys, if you've been enjoying the podcast and want to go above and beyond downloading and subscribing to support us, we've got a Patreon that you can visit at patreon.agamingmoment.com. Check out our Patreon for our exclusive Patreon. Hey guys, if you're enjoying the podcast and you want to go above and beyond downloading and subscribing to support us, we've got a Patreon that you can visit at patreon.agamingmoment.com. Check it out for our exclusive Patreon rewards.
And so let's get into the weekly banter. And we have a lot of topics this week, so we're not gonna beat y'all up with those. So we're just kind of cover them a little bit. And big topic this week: Diablo Immortal. We had a streamer, content creator on YouTube, I believe, that calculated the cost to fully gearing up your characters in Diablo Immortal, and that cost figure is $110,000. Like, you are talking half a house. Insane.
That's more than my house.
The level of money grab on this game is unreal. People are actually outraged on this game, and there's a couple streamers that they're going pretty hard out to kind of attack them on this. It's I won't say it's necessarily pay to win, but it's almost pay to play, because they make it so grindy that you're gonna want to, like, all right, $5 here and $5 here and $5 here, just so you don't have to grind it out for a week. And just the way that you earn materials as a free to play player, it's not looking well for you. So it's rough. We talk about this all the time. Part of this is maybe the price you pay to have that free to play game, but are they really free to play if you can't play competitively free?
Yeah, like Wild said, as of right now, free-to-play players cannot earn top-rated legendary gems, which are only available via some of the game's monetization options, and fully maxing out that character effectively costs $110,000 in the game's current economy. So if you're a WoW player, there's a lot of money you can sink into WoW to buy gold and things like that, and buy materials and whatnot. This is very, very similar to that. It's insane. Like, I financed my house for less than 110,000. We'll put it that way. So to max out a video game character's stats, or their equipment, their gear, and everything, literally costs more than my house. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. So just beware of that, and maybe that's not the game for the kids to play. So
Absolutely.
You're aware. Then I just want to touch on Taco Bell DeFi. So have you seen this one day? It's a new Taco Bell concept they have. It's got 4 drive-through lanes. It's also got an inside window you can go in, and it's just kind of a little lobby in a window, and you can still order your food. But really what they're trying to achieve is like kind of like a hands-free multi-lane deal. It looks like you're pulling up to a bank. There's like, pillars that come down and they drop your food down to you. And I don't know, pretty interesting concept. I like it. The line at my local Taco Bell can get awful long at night. I'm never really jonesing that much for Taco Bell that I'm going to wait in line for 15, 20, half an hour. But their goal is to get out the people through there in 2 minutes. So that's pretty good. We got 4 lanes there. But I want you guys to watch, because I'm going to work on getting a TikTok up of this. I'll share it up to AGM. So it'll be interesting. I'm excited, because it's not so far away from me. So I'm going to go check it out for sure.
I think I think it's okay. I think it takes the human element out of it a little bit. The face to face. Like, I'm old school in the fact that, I still like to do face to face business, but they're really trying to make this so that it's easy for, like, Uber Eats drivers and DoorDash, or whatever your food delivery thing is, getting that set up so these guys don't have to wait a long time to get the food, because when you're running deliveries, and my wife and I do it for fun on Uber Eats, and I know Wild's wife and him, they do it for fun, like on a date night or something, to make a little extra money and then go spend that money on a nice meal for that night. Time is money. 3 minutes for me is the difference between taking an extra order and not taking an extra order. So I mean, you don't want to be sitting in line, especially since COVID's been around. A lot of restaurants don't want you going into the lobby, or their lobbies still might be closed. So you have to sit in the drive-through, right? And then you're sitting in that 20-minute line, like Wild was saying. And again, time is money when it comes to that. And then people are just hungry. So, that having that 2-minute experience is cool. I think if I was in a hurry, that's the Taco Bell that I would go to. But if time's not of the essence, I'd still like to do face-to-face commerce.
But so that is the one thing. There is one lane that is just your traditional drive up. So
Okay.
traditional drive up, and then and they got a window inside that more or less your traditional counter. So I mean, if you're fuddy duddy and you want to pay in cash, you can be with Dagon inside.
Yeah, Wild. I expect you to. I expect a TikTok and a YouTube short for it, please.
Yep, we'll work on it. Moving on. Battlefield 2042 Season 1's dropped. The impressions that I've seen, Rive, they what's the term I'm looking for? The impressions I've seen have come from lukewarm to cold. Or the impressions I've seen so far have come from cold to lukewarm to great. And overall, not a lot of content. We got a new map. Everyone seems to agree the new map is fantastic. It plays well. It's balanced well. It does all the Battlefield things that it should do right. And there's a lot of people saying that this is how map design should have been from day one. We're still waiting on the map redesigns that they talked about, and that being so slow. Not a lot of content here. Not a lot of materials. And there's also a lot of rumors flying around that they're down to a skeleton staff. They're not really supporting the game. They're just
Keeping the
making
lights
the
on.
game survive. Yeah, keeping the lights on. So, but a couple of the YouTubers I've seen, Jack Frags being one of them. Again, talk about Jack on here quite a bit, and he's real favorable of it. And his squad, Tomographic, and some of the other big streamers, were real favorable of it. So it looks good. Player counts way up. Where they were averaging under 2,000 players a day at max, and I think we were around 14ish. Peaked today 14,000 or so. So that the average player count is up. Just this week, the word's getting out. People are playing it. We'll see if they can sustain it.
Yeah, the big thing is have they fixed the things that the community wanted them to fix? With the just the quality of life things, right? That was the reason why their player counts were down around the 2,000-ish players per day, was because of just things with your map and marking things on a map. They've also come out with a battle pass, just like every other game. So it's a 12-week battle pass, and you can get the premium tier of the battle pass for $10 in their currency, which is consistent with everybody else in the market. So they're really just kind of doing what everybody else is doing. Are they doing it better? That's debatable. It depends on who you talk to, because a lot of Battlefield players are anti-COD players, and a lot of COD players are anti-Battlefield players. So it really depends on who you talk to. But I like the game style. I think the game still has potential. I think I haven't played it since the update. I haven't bought it, so it might be something that I buy. Again, my upcoming gaming investments is going to be Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. So that's where I'm at with it, but that's not to say that I won't play it if I have the opportunity to.
Yeah, so overall it's probably worth a revisit if you have it, or if you have like we have some game time left on Xbox Ultimate Game Pass. That you can go check it out and see if it's better for you.
The Wild Apple is going to be changing from the Lightning cable to USB-C with the rest of the fucking world.
Yeah,
They've already
yeah.
they've already done their tablets. I don't understand why they haven't done it with their phones yet. But now USB-C is going to be mandatory for phones sold in the EU starting in
Well,
20 by autumn 2024.
yeah, and actually, it's most electronic devices too. So, but the big one always being Apple, because Apple's, really
Always got to be
stuck to their
proprietary.
proprietary, yeah, to limit you to their marketplace and their providers and stuff like that. So, that's a big win. That's a big win for consumers. It's a big win for environmentally friendly people that care about the environment, that don't want to be using different cables or different chargers, stuff like that. It also forces some, like, I think Logitech is one that's kind of a big abuser of using like the micro USB.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, there's still, every now and then I buy a product and it comes with like a micro USB. Like, who uses this? My dash cams, my one of my dash cams has a mini USB, the
Oh
little,
goodness.
oh my, yeah, that was like, where, but it's just powered, not so much data, so it doesn't really matter. But it's like, that's going to force a lot of those devices to USB-C. And now you're going to be able to charge everything in the car with one cable, and you can all fight over the one cable in the car to charge your stuff.
Oh, I don't have
It's
to
a
worry
win.
about that. I got wireless charging in my car.
Yep.
I'm fancy.
So another win that we're going to have here too is Amazon, fighting scalpers, kind of, anyways, it looks. And now looks like you can enter yourself into a lottery of sorts to buy yourself a PS5 or a Xbox Series X. So giving you a little bit, maybe an up on the scalpers. You really seeing the availability of those consoles um, increasing massively. GameStop had a big push this last week. Um, Walmart had a big push that you could go and get a PS5 or Xbox. I logged on to the Windows Store, and it would let me pre-order an Xbox out about 2 weeks out. But 2 weeks I could have my Series X if I wanted one. So the availability is coming up, but I don't think they're quite limiting the scalpers from reselling on their platform. So
Yeah.
how much do they really? How much are they really doing? They could probably be doing more, but
It is what it is. The main goal is it's not just with PlayStation 5s and Xbox Series X. It's really anything that has a limited quantity, because the supply and demand, the supply is so low and the demand is so high. But the PS5 and the Series X are like basically two of the main culprits, right? Like it's that and graphics cards have been the biggest things with people in the marketplaces lately in the last 8 to 12 months, really. And it's good to see that and it's good to see that Amazon is trying to at least alleviate it and make things better for us. But like Wild said, they're not going to stop the third parties, these people that are quote unquote legit people, from turning around and reselling it for double the price on the same exact platform. Like, I think this is only going to work if you're getting it from the Sony store on Amazon or the Microsoft store on Amazon, things like that.
yeah. And then moving on, we've talked a little bit about NFTs, the non-fungible tokens, and like, weekly sales have declined by 70% from nearly a high of 1 million units, at a time, and the third week of 2022. So they're already way down. Are they going to be worth any money? I don't really know. Um, it doesn't look well for me.
Well, fucking
But
crypto's tanked, so it doesn't matter. So,
yeah,
I had basically $200 in, mined money, if you will, that I did through NiceHash, and it's now only worth like $40
Yeah.
because crypto's crashed so hard. And NFTs are they're different, but they're the same, right? There's got to be a market. We're going, and not to talk political stuff or politics or economics or anything like that, but the fact of the matter is we're as a nation. If you're here in the U.S. and you're listening to, if you're one of our listeners from the U.S. here, and I think it's affecting the world anyway. But we're in a bad spot. We're in a recession, and people are wanting to spend their money a little bit more wisely than trying to buy digital art products and stuff that they can't just hang on their wall, or something that they know is going to increase in value over time versus not. So could we see digital currency already starting to fade off, or are we just going through a slump with digital currency and it's gonna pick back up? Nobody knows yet.
Yeah. So, bottom line, like we've always said, invest wisely. You know what you're gonna do. So, another topic I wanted to hit on this week: YouTube rolling out 5.1 surround sound. I don't know why it's taking so long, but for me, if you want your platform to, be one of the platforms, how can you not have surround sound? Like, I had the first time I plugged in surround sound was, I was in high school, and
Yeah.
it was amazing to have that at home, and I want that. I wanted that at home, so I have it at home, and now this makes this a little more alluring for me to actually maybe buy or rent videos on YouTube, so I can watch them in full surround sound now. So that's a big thing to me, and so watch for that. You should be able to see that.
Yeah, just note that, like, it's not going to be through your computer right now. Um, prior to this, it was only available across like Samsung, LG, and Vizio devices, running a specific OS version to be able to take advantage of that 5.1. And then you'd need a compatible device with the YouTube TV app installed, along with a compatible speaker system. But now they're rolling it out to Google TV, Android TV, and Roku devices. So just know it's not going to be across all devices, it's across specific devices. So make sure you do your research in that. I believe what I just listed out, Samsung, LG, Vizio, all running what they call Cobalt version 20 or higher. And then, of course, Google TV, Android TV, and Roku devices. So if you have any of
With
those,
Yeah, with Apple TV and Fire TV coming here, they say in the
mhm,
in the near future. So
right. Yeah. So super stoked about that. Everybody's starting to cut the table. Everybody's starting to cut the cable now. Everybody's trying to
yeah,
transition away from like your Xfinities, your you know, Direct TV, and your traditional cable providers, and moving more towards subscription based services that are a little bit cheaper at the end of the day, and you still get the same content and crap. And sometimes, like with YouTube TV, you get even more. Like, I think, do you get YouTube Premium with YouTube TV? Wild, do you know?
you I don't know. I'm not sure of that. I don't have YouTube TV. I just have the premium. So
Let us know on social media if that is
yeah,
the
yeah.
case.
And then let's hit another topic. Steam Deck. So you want to be able to dock your Steam Deck like you dock your Wii. They have that coming, but now they just came out and said June 1st. Hey, not really going to happen with COVID closures and the manufacturing facilities. Their dock. Steam Deck dock is being delayed, so that's an official announcement from Steam. So it is what it is. I know that they actually have made a couple changes too, based on user feedback. So I think that might maybe have played into it, some of the late changes. But nonetheless, I don't know that many people that have Steam Decks yet. I see Chaco just got one. Chaco Taco just got one recently. Um, he loves it. Still waiting on mine. It's supposed to be June July, excuse me, July on. So I got to start watching my emails here every Monday.
I'm sure you'll get it eventually.
Yep.
If not, you'll end up with a nice little check in the bank in your bank account as they deposit it back. But something cool that Apple is doing is they're adding native support for Nintendo Switch Pro controllers and Joy-Cons. So now you can use Joy-Cons and controllers for your Apple device to play games. I think that's kind of cool, dude.
I think that's the first I've seen. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's the first I've seen the Nintendo controllers go outside of their environment.
They're super,
I don't think,
super tight vested with all that stuff too, right?
I mean, you can't use them on PC, right? You can't, I don't think you can plug them in and use them on PC, even though they have, some of them have USB plugs on them and everything too. But so I don't know, kind of interesting. I thought that was an interesting story to see Nintendo actually breaking out of their environment for once.
And joining with Apple of all people. I guess Apple's really trying to push their Apple Arcade stuff, but this is only going to be available on iOS 16 and up. So just know that in order to make it work, you'll have to be running iOS 16 on your mobile device.
Yep. And another great story this week: leaking classified documents. Leaking classified documents on a game forum because this happened on the War Thunder forum. But not only that, right? This is the third time this has happened, right? And the devs are aware of this, and they're aware of this potential. But they said that so what happened. Let me see. One of the devs posted something on the server, kind of talking about something, and one of the posters saw it, kind of flipped out, and went ahead and posted some treasonous specs online that aren't publicly communicated specs. Like, if you have working knowledge of this stuff, right? Maybe you're a missile tech or whoever you are, and whatever, that's private, that's privileged information. If you have it, you cannot just divulge that stuff to public. And War Thunder doesn't want any part of that too.
Hell no.
So it was talking about a particular shell that's classified still in China. And so it's like, China's probably not the one you want to piss off when it comes to the military. So it's like, they saw it right away. They nuked the post. They banned the user. And, like they said, this has always been, prohibited that they can post any of this stuff. And, they want their games to be as real as possible, but they're kindly asking people to not do anything illegal, jeopardize the safety of their team and their community, their developers. So they do a good job of trying to find publicly available information to kind of, speculate on the capacities and whatever of their equipment. But just blows my mind that this has happened 3 times. People are so overzealous about things. So yeah, guys, just watch what you post.
Watch the communities you're a part. Watch the communities you're a part of, because what is it? Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Guilty by association. All that. You end up with the Chinese government at your door. Is your name blah blah blah, and you're a member of the War Thunder forum? All right, we're gonna have to shoot you in the head because you've seen classified information now. Oh, and then we're gonna charge your family for the fucking bullet too. Oh my god.
Yep, it's crazy stuff. And another crazy story, we saved this one for last. Rumors, and we don't really know, and there's already been speculations, but of a PS5 Pro and a new Xbox Series S, X console or whatever that is going to be rated for up to 8K resolution. So this actually came out of a presentation by TCL, which is a big panel maker, TV maker, and stuff like that. So, the kind of the way they present it, it could just be speculation based on time, right? Well, we know every so often we're gonna get a new console, a new whatever, right? So every 4 years, we're gonna get something new, but they're saying it's 8K at 60 to 120 out. Um, Talking about that, kind of crazy. Um, and so we don't know if it's a full on leak, but that's the first that anyone's actually put it up on a screen. And so we
Yeah,
don't know. They might have some privileged information there too. Again, you're part of a company. Maybe you shouldn't put privileged information out to the public.
I I
So
think I think there's probably a breach of an NDA there, a non-disclosure agreement there potentially. I mean, like Wild said, they're putting dates on this. They're talking 2023, 2024, and again, there's speculation on it, but I mean, they've gone game console generations, 2022 product introduction, and they're talking about Xbox Series X, PS5 Pro, 2160p, so that's 2K, at 60 to 120 p or 60 to 120 hertz or FPS rendered, and they have Ultra HD 8K 60 to 123 output, running an RX 770 XT GPU or
yeah.
7700 XT GPU. By the way, which has not come out yet either, right? So
So
is that another leak, Wild?
yeah, I mean, we can be. It's a logical progression on the naming thing, but there's actual, like, we have patents. There's patent filings for PlayStation 5 that show that they could be making the leap to ray tracing. There's alleged date tip by YouTubers. AMD chipset job listings are discovered from Sony. So I mean, again, it's not really a big secret. They always kind of hold their cards. They always kind of hold their cards tight to their chest there. But it does say there's going to be yet another PlayStation, and same kind of with Xbox. Xbox is they're pretty out there and to say, hey, this won't be the last Xbox console, the Series X and Series S. They're going to keep investing on stuff like that. So pretty neat. We know it's coming, but that's kind of the first we've seen it kind of in writing. So definitely we're going to stay on top of that and let you know. We'll let you know not all the rumors, but the ones that seem really good and credible and worth our time to actually talk about. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, guys, if you've been enjoying some of the audio that we play on the podcast, our intro and our outro, and then if you're catching the live streams when we do this and we have the music, prior to us actually coming on screen and stuff, you can actually get free access. It's DMCA free. It's on available on Apple. It's available on Spotify, and it's by our good buddy River, and he creates some really great audio, hi-fi, lo-fi, stuff with vocals in it. It's super good. It's super just chill listening to. Like I'll listen to it in the car, and it's no knock on Harris Heller and Stream Beats or anything, but
which is great.
It's great, but the quality of this music is amazing.
So much better. Like I can the second I heard just even a couple tracks, man, I was like, oh, like I feel like I could listen to like I would choose to listen to this music. That's the kind of music I want to be able to have in the stream. So if you notice, yeah, we've just changed our intro outro music to what we always had on the podcast, and it's I don't know, I think it's that much better than even before. So great stuff, worth checking it out if you're a streamer and you're concerned about DMCA's, because you should be, and but still want to listen to good music on stream.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can check out his profile and everything. You can go to River, so it's going to be RIVVER .agamingmoment.com. That's going to send you right to his bio page, where you can find all of his rhythms and stuff, his availability to download, find it on Amazon, find it on Apple Music, SoundCloud, everything. You'll be able to find all the information there. You can download, use it in your streams. I use it on mine. I've created a playlist that has all of his music that I run on my streams and here on the Gaming Moment channel as well. So check it out, give it a listen, give it a like. Follow him on Twitch, follow him on Twitter. Join his Discord for access to the MP3s, and just show him your support, guys. We'd really appreciate that. I know he'd appreciate it as well.
On top of that, he's a super cool dude. Mm-hmm. He's totally the dude you want to support. So we're throwing that out. We're throwing that out there, guys. Check it out.
Well, don't we have some follow-ups this week?
Yep. So we do have a big story, and we've touched on right to repair. But New York has actually passed a right to repair that actually readies electronics repair. So phones and a lot of electronics and stuff like that. They're gonna force the manufacturer's hands to make proprietary tools and parts available to repair shops. And so it should work out good. I don't know if it's fully been signed yet. I have to double check on that, but it looks like it will pass. No problem.
Yeah, I'm super stoked about Go ahead.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, I was going to give you a second to get your thoughts together.
No, go ahead, though.
This is
I got one more.
Yeah, this is super cool to know that, we're starting to see that traction. We're starting to see that motion coming in, that the states, the government is backing what we as a community, the people that like to tinker, the people that like to just fix their own shit, that don't want to have to rely on other people, or give these small mom and pop shops the support that they need to provide services to people. Just all of that. It's really cool to see that this is starting to come to fruition. And I know we've been talking about it for well over a year now, and that this is the first or technically second step if you count Apple, selling their repair kits and stuff now. But, we're starting to see the government transition into, hey, you guys can't dictate who and when who and how people fix their own property, right? So again, I'm really excited about this. This is a big step in the right direction.
So it is a step, but it's not a complete step, and that's kind of the one thing that's a little bit unfortunate. But we'll take a step forward either way. And the bill doesn't really cover automobiles, so that's kind of already covered by some national laws. So that's all right. Doesn't cover medical devices, and we saw a lot of that during COVID times, that people wanted to engineer stuff, and they were kind of hands tied with some of that stuff, or fix stuff, their hands tied. They say, "Oh, we don't have the part," and people are like, I have the ability to make a part, and they have their hands tied. And then it doesn't cover home appliances either. So there's some, and that could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. I think when you're going to repair something yourself, I think you take the good with the bad. But step in the forward direction, and pretty good. And then also we do have another one that Epic's Game Store is readying up for its first NFT foray into gaming. So I don't know if have you played Grit Day? So there's a battle royale, Grit, and this blew my mind. I didn't even know this, right? Because I've actually played this, and it's a battle royale. It's Fortnite-ish in gameplay, and but plays where you have a zone and you got to run through it. You get horses to kind of move you through the zone, and it's got gunplay. Again, it feels more Fortnite-ish than it does PUBG-ish. But overall, I played it early. The gameplay was decent-ish. The servers weren't great. The community was super small. But apparently it's going to be an NFT game now. And so we talked a little bit about that, and Epic's going to step in, and we'll see what that actually does mean for NFTs and gaming and whatever, because we talked about Steam banning NFT games. So Epic is probably your biggest chance to get an NFT game, and maybe this game that's not really making money in a launch can make a little bit of money and improve and going and interesting. So just follow up on that.
Yeah, I haven't played Grit yet, but I've heard some good, decent things about it. I haven't had it, like I said, I haven't had an opportunity to play it yet. But the fact that they're turning it into like an NFT game, I'm not surprised, honestly. You know, the whole NFT movement, like as we just said, NFT is kind of going down, but this was obviously in the works before, you know, this digital currency crash that's going on. And I think the digital currency stuff's gonna rebound, and this is gonna kind of be in a prime position to be one of the first bigger name NFT games.
Yeah, I actually Wacky Jackie did a bit of content on this game too. So if you're really curious about the game and the gameplay, I think Wacky Jackie has some Wacky Jackie 101 on YouTube has some gameplay and some kind of in depth stuff on it. So I don't know if he's still partnered with them, but we'll see. I'll check it out. If it's free to play, for sure I'll check it out. So we'll see.
Hey, and if you haven't already, be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok so you can engage with us, as well as find out when we're streaming the podcast and get a first listen before it goes out across all podcasting platforms. So do it.
So this week we have an Instagram post, we have a Twitter post, we have a TikTok post. Which they're not linked. Who did this? Who did such a poor job?
There.
Man. So Instagram post this week from 100 Thieves, which we all know, big, huge gaming company. You could have three choices: perfect comms, perfect aim, perfect ping, perfect rotations, perfect game sense, perfect strategy, perfect teamwork, inhuman reactions, and strong mental.
Be mentally tough.
Mentally tough. So
You don't get discouraged.
yeah, so it's like, yeah, that's kind of an interesting topic. So we're gonna revisit that one actually for question of the week. But yeah, Thousand Thieves, excuse me, 100 Thieves puts out lots of really kind of good tweets, good posts, Instagrams, worth a follow, sure. Twitter this week, we're going to talk a little. Here's our buddy Wacky Jackie 101. PUBG adding a new anti cheat. Seems to be a 10-cent anti cheat. So there you go, and they're getting a better lockdown, and they're somehow getting a way to ban people. And I don't know if they're banning based on multiple pieces of information. Like this guy said he reset his router, changed his MAC address, cleaned up files and registry, and didn't have the hack on the computer. He was still banned within 10 minutes of downloading the game. So they got the cheaters scrambling right now. So that's good. Looks like PUBG may have a one up again on the cheaters. So
Yeah, I'm all for this. Hopefully, they'll find a way around it. They always do, but you know, in the short term, it's going to be nice.
oh, and then I wanted to cover this just blazingly awesome TikTok this week, and it's from actually a friend of mine, the 511, the 5 even on Twitter. From a friend of mine, the 5 even on TikTok, and local. Jeez, they're a fellow PUBG player streamer. I met them actually in like Septimore's chat. She's just super chill, super funny. She calls herself a potato gamer, and so this week we thought, hey, we just feature one of our friends, and she's got this amazing TikTok. Dave, have you seen this?
No,
She
I'm
goes to
watching it
the
right now.
sink. She goes to the sink to grab a sponge to do some dishes, and as she's grabbing the sponge, it morphs into a mouse. And all of a sudden, she's at her gaming desk and she's gaming away, and it's like, I think this has happened to me. I think this is proof that I actually started to do dishes and end up on the computer. So it's just a brilliant, funny TikTok, and totally the content that I love. So and she's got not too many views and not too many likes on it. Man, she puts out good TikToks. Like, small streamer, just amazing sense of humor, and really a sweetheart. So
She
I just
just
wanted
needs
to share
the
that one this
she
week.
just needs the right exposure, man. Just the right exposure.
Yeah. So here she is on the Gaming Moment podcast. So
And then it looks like we got some questions of the week. So from that Instagram post that you posted,
yep.
um,
What
from
three
103
skills are you
thieves,
gonna take?
what 3 skills am I gonna take? I'm gonna be greedy, and I'm gonna say perfect aim, perfect game sense, and inhuman reactions, because I think I can overcome perfect ping, perfect strategy, perfect teamwork, perfect rotation, and perfect comms. I think I can. I think with perfect aim, perfect game sense, and inhuman reactions, if you have perfect game sense, then you'll have perfect rotations and perfect strategy and perfect comms. But perfect aim and perfect and then inhuman reactions, that helps you kill people quickly and move on to the next one. So I think having those 3 covers 4 of the other 6 things. Like, obviously it's not going to affect ping and your mental wellness, if you will, but I think it can be good enough to cover the comms, rotations, teamwork, and strategy.
See, I'm gonna go perfect aim and inhuman reactions so I can hit those shots, and then I'm also gonna go perfect comms because I hope I hope it comes across in real life to my wife. There'll never be another argument ever. And she'll have to admit that I'm always right. So,
Fair enough.
I just, I always like the which one you gonna take, or could assign point values to these.
Yeah, and then one more question, since we had that that Taco Bell topic above, talking about the Taco Bell Defy with what's coming with the future. Let's go back to the past a little bit. And since Taco Bell has brought back the Mexican pizza, what's another menu item you wish they would bring back or that they would have?
So I got 2 that I can think of, and I had to do a little memory stretch, and then I had to verify it because I was
you're older than me, so you have more to go off of.
Well, my first one's actually pretty recent. They had the caramel apple empanada, and for me, I really like that, and that reminds me of the old school McDonald's apple pies, and I don't know if you remember those.
Oh yeah.
Now they've had the baked apple pies, and they're not fried apple pies like the other ones, and they're not. Let's be honest, fried is almost always better. So they're basically like a caramel apple old school McDonald's pie, and they were bomb, and they don't have those anymore. Maybe they'll make a guest appearance. I don't know. But the other weird thing they don't have anymore, is they don't have tostadas. And I remember I used to order tostadas all the time, and I was like, at some point I stopped ordering tostadas, and I love tostadas. They're kind of like
it's because you stopped ordering tostadas that they took away the tostadas.
I mean, we did go probably about 4 years without eating at Taco Bell. I was like, hey, we should eat at Taco Bell again. We ate there. My wife was like, gross. And I was like, no, actually, it was really good. You should eat at Taco Bell. So I dragged her to Taco Bell, and she had to admit it was pretty good. We're not going to eat there often, but once in a blue moon. What about you, Dave? What are you missing?
So for me, I'm a spicy food eater, dude. And the thing that they took away, and it's fairly recent, like it's within the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, but they had the volcano menu where they had this volcano sauce. It was like their spiciest sauce that they had at the time. They had a burrito, they had a taco, they had a chalupa. So good, so flavorful. And then I'm going to take it way back. I think this was early 90s. There's some nostalgia for this. If you guys can't see the stream, go to the YouTube channel, watch the broadcast of this stream up to this point. They used to have these things called taco burgers, and basically what it was kind of like a steamed hamburger bun. That's how they warmed up the hamburger bun with their meat, cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, a little bit of sour cream, to die for. And the only reason why I want them to bring that back is there's a place in my hometown in Odessa, Texas called Taco Villa, and they still serve taco burgers to this day. Nobody makes it better. There's a place close to me called Taco Casa that they sell a version of it, but it's on like a wheat bun, and they put black olives, which I think black olives are the worst thing on earth. My wife loves them, but that's about the closest thing that I can get to them nowadays. Man, bring them back. Bring them back.
We do have a place called Tendermaid here in Minnesota, Austin, Minnesota. They make like a loose meat burger. That's I don't know if I classified it like a sloppy Joe minus like the seasoning, and those are pretty legit. Like, so maybe the taco burger is not nearly as bad as I think in my head, but it doesn't sound great. But I give her a go. At least twice.
Oh, yeah.
So, guys, if you love the podcast, we love to engage with you guys. Reach out to us on our social medias. Tell us about your favorite Taco Bell food that you're missing. Give us a foodie question of the week. Give us a gaming question of the week. What do you guys want to know? Or just reach out and say, hey, what can you tell me about this topic? So that's social media, our Discord, you name it. That's the way to get in touch with us and, really kind of get your say on the podcast and get your piece and get the information you want out of the podcast. So we love it. Reach out to us.
And that's going to be it for this episode. Are you guys excited? And that's going to be it for this episode. Are you guys excited for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 as we are? I'm super stoked about it. I can't wait to get on it. Thank you guys for listening in. Consider our Patreon to support the podcast, and by also going to merch.agamingmoment.com and picking up some of that timeless classic merch. And if you've made it this far in the podcast, now's the best time to hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. And until next time, keep grinding.